What is up, my ducks and drakes? Welcome to the crawdad. To my knowledge, this book does not have a title, but welcome back to day 5 of A Gift of Fanfiction, a series on my channel where I read a fanfiction every day because I like torturing myself. Today's fanfic is by Effie, and it's a Janice x Virgil. So you know what? We're just gonna rumble. There is a trigger warning of swearing. It was almost Christmas, and the imagination was full of winter mode. There was snow on the ground, the lights hung up on the trees around the village, the warm smell of freshly baked cookies and the crisp pine scent danced around every street. It truly was a magical time of year. Janice's point of view. I looked out of my windows in the dark mindscape. Even from here, I felt like I could smell the festivities. I'm not entirely sure if it's a good thing. Anyways, Pet invited me and Remus over for Christmas. Yikes, I'm just hoping that Remus doesn't do anything too crazy. I was snapped out of my thoughts when Remus ran up to me, speaking of the devil. "Hey Dee, you planning on confessing to Virgil this year?" he said, leaning against me dramatically. Shut up, I retorted, pushing him away. "Oh, you're blushing." I stared at him furiously. "I can help you get a little something for him if you want." "I totally want all of your weird shit," I growled, stalking past him. "Oh, come on," he whined, following me down the hall. For a while, only sound was our boots clacking on the stone floor. "Where are we going?" Remus asked, interrupting the silence. "Do you still know your way around the castle?" I said, exasperately throwing my hands up. "We're not going to the commons." Virgil's point of view. Logan and Roman were both hesitant about letting Darksides come over, but me and Patton managed to convince them. I was listening to My Chemical Romance in my room when I smelled something heavenly. I got up and walked to the kitchen, trying to find where the smell came from. I peeked my head around the corner, bangs falling to the side of my face. Patton was in the kitchen, stirring something in a bowl. "It smells great, Pat," I said, coming up behind the father figure. He squeaked in surprise and spun around, still holding the bowl. Oh, hey there, kiddo, I didn't see you there," he said, smiling. "What are you making?" "Hot chocolate cookies." I gave him a confused look. "What are they?" "It's kind of hard to explain, but they're basically cookies that are made using hot chocolate mix and marshmallows instead of chocolate chips," he explained, smiling. "That certainly sounds good," I said, smiling back. Then there's a time skip. It was the day Remus and Deceit were supposed to come over. Christmas Eve. My head was running around in circles for the past half hour. How am I supposed to act around them? What if I mess something up and he hates me? What if he already hates me? What if he doesn't return my feelings? Deceit's point of view. Dinner had gone by wonderfully so far. Remus was surprisingly being tame, which made me a bit suspicious. Virgil had some extra anxious for some reason. Maybe it was just the stress of Remus being there. "Oh, Virgil, can we talk for a minute? Alone?" This was it. This was time to confess his feelings to Virgil. Sure," he said quietly, bangs falling in front of his eyes. I stood up, pushing my chair in. Virgil copying my movements. I noticed that Virgil's hands were shaking. I turned around, leading him into the living room. Patton's point of view. "I wonder what Deceit needed with Virgil," I wondered aloud. "I'm not sure," Logan said, pushing his glasses up. "Maybe he wanted to go on an epic quest with Virgil," Roman said enthusiastically. Remus just smirked. Virgil's point of view. I followed Deceit into the living room, trying to still my shaking hands. Thoughts were running through my head as Deceit stopped and turned to face me. "Look up," he said softly. I complied. "I, just have to tell you something." "Yes." Deceit took a deep breath, closing his eyes. "I love you, Virgil." I stared at him in shock. How could anyone love someone like me? Deceit frowned and realized I had said that aloud. There's so much I love about you, Virgil. How could anyone not love you, is my question. But, I said on the brink of tears. Shh. Deceit interrupted me, placing a gloved finger on my lips. Nod. Yes or no? Do you return my feelings? He whispered. I nodded furiously, tears finally slipping free. I love you so much. I choked out. Deceit's face lit up and he pulled me into a tight hug. I hugged back. We stayed like that for a while, swaying slightly. Then I pulled back, wiping my eyes. Can I kiss you? I asked, hesitantly nervous as to his answer. You don't need to ask, he said, smiling. Then he kissed me. Deceit's point of view. Suddenly there was a squeal. Virgil whirled around, our lips breaking contact. Patton, Roman, and Remus tumbled out of behind the doorway. Patton had a large smile on his face, and Roman and Remus were both grinning. Virgil covered his red face with his hands. Then he turned and buried his face in my chest. You guys are so cute together! Patton squealed, jumping up and down. I knew it! Remus was cut off by Logan, who came around the corner. I apologize for their behavior, but I have to agree with Patton. You two are, He looked at a flashcard and looked at it for a second. Adorbs. That cracked everyone up, including Virgil, who had taken his face out of my shirt. Well, I think we can safely say that this has been a fabulous Christmas, Roman stated, smiling. The end. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to listen to this book yourself, well, not listen, you already did. If you'd like to read this book yourself, links to the author and to the fic will be in the description below. Same with my Wattpad and all my social medias, including my second channel, which I haven't been promoting that much, but I do have a second channel where I do go live, and my TikTok, which I just made. Additionally, if you'd like to submit your own one-shot, please go to the original video that you'd find on screen and do the submitty thingies. Thank you for listening, and like always, do your best.